Welcome to my channel, HFY Tales. An infertile alien princess was given to a human as a gift, but when she miraculously becomes pregnant, a furious king will stop at nothing to destroy them. Love, rebellion, and an impossible child ignite a war that could change the fate of two species forever. The infertile alien princess had become the human's gift, and now the king was furious. Above the crystalline spires of the ethereal palace, Nexus Prime's violet sky shimmered under the glow of 3 moons. Light fractured through the translucent towers, scattering rainbow hues across the throne room. Robin Gyllenhaal, former Earth Special Forces operative turned royal guard, stood at attention in his midnight black-powered armor, eyes following the elegant Nexian courtiers drifting past like alien fish in a cosmic sea. 6 years of loyal service had earned him respect, but he remained an outsider. His massive frame, battle scars, and commanding presence drew curious glances from the delicate, crystalline-skinned Nexians. Commander Gyllenhaal, the king's resonant voice echoed across the room. Thorax's pale gray skin pulsed with internal light. Organic, blade-like protrusions extended from his cheekbones, catching every flicker of ambient illumination. Robin stepped forward with practiced precision, his heavy boots leaving faint impressions on the living crystal floor. Thorax's yellow eyes fixed on him, unreadable. "Your loyalty has not gone unnoticed," Thorax intoned, gesturing with a clawed hand. "I have decided to reward you with a gift beyond measure." The throne room doors parted. Princess Lua entered. Robin's breath caught. Her pale green skin glowed softly, and her flowing emerald hair cascaded like liquid sunlight. The minimal black fabric she wore revealed curves sculpted by both elegance and strength. "My daughter," Thorax announced, "shall be your mate." Robin's training fought to contain his shock. "Why, Your Majesty? I'm honored, but she is infertile." Thorax's tone was firm, matter-of-fact. "Our physicians have confirmed it beyond doubt. Were she capable of bearing children, such a union would be impossible given your common origins. But as she cannot produce an heir, there is no harm in granting her happiness with a mate of her choosing." Lua's golden eyes met Robin's. Hope, or perhaps determination, flickered there. "Do you accept this gift, Commander Gyllenhaal?" Robin studied her trembling hands, the quiet dignity she maintained despite the public announcement of such a personal matter. "Do, Your Majesty." The ceremony was brief, following Nexian tradition Robin had studied but never anticipated participating in. Within hours, he and Lua were relocated to the palace's private eastern wing. "I've watched you," Lua whispered later from their balcony overlooking the crystalline city. "Your strength, your honor, you're different from the others." Robin traced the starlight on her face. Different isn't always better. In this case, it is. She stepped closer, her scent intoxicating, floral, otherworldly. "My father thinks he solved a problem by giving me to you. He doesn't realize he's given me exactly what I wanted." 6 months passed. The throne room temperature seemed to drop as Thorax rose from his seat, blade-like protrusions extending fully. "I am pregnant, Father," Lua announced, voice steady despite the tension. "I carry Robin's child." Thorax's eyes blazed. "Impossible. Our physicians, perhaps they never understood how human genetics might interact with our own." Lua interrupted. Robin stepped protectively in front of her. "Your Majesty, with respect, seize them." Thorax's command tore through the crystalline corridors. Robin's powered armor activated instantly. Energy fields crackled across the black surface. He positioned himself between Lua and the advancing royal guards, who wielded deadly crystalline blades. "My love," she whispered, pressing close. "The western passage. It leads to the atmospheric docks." Robin nodded. Tactical calculations raced through his mind. The first guard lunged, crystal blades singing through the air. Sparks erupted as Robin's reinforced gauntlet absorbed the strike. "I won't let them harm you," he growled, every fiber of his being focused on protection. Memories of their first night together flashed her ethereal beauty in moonlight. The boldness and vulnerability she had shown, that passion, once private, now became the force that drove him through battle, protecting their impossible miracle. Lua guided them through shimmering corridors, her knowledge of the palace invaluable. The sound of boots and energy weapons filled the halls, but Robin's armor deflected every attack. 2 guards fell to his integrated stun system, not killed, merely incapacitated. "The docking bay is just ahead," Lua panted, her hair streaming behind her like a banner. "There's something you should know. About us, about how this happened." Robin glanced at her, awestruck. Even now, in danger, she was breathtaking. Their connection had always been intense, but the child she carried made it all urgent, real, and impossible to ignore. The emotional bond between Robin and Lua had transformed them. 6 months of shared moments, whispered confessions, and quiet courage had built something stronger than duty, stronger than fear. "They didn't make a mistake," Lua said, her voice steady despite the chaos. "They lied. My father, he wanted me contained, controlled. When I showed interest in you, he thought he could manipulate the situation. Our child is proof that human and Nexian biology is more compatible than anyone imagined." Robin's eyes scanned the platform as a blast of energy scorched the container above them. Sparks rained down. Without hesitation, He activated his armor's shield system. A protective bubble enveloped them both. "We'll talk more once we're safe," he promised. "Can you pilot one of these shuttles?" he asked, noting the atmospheric craft lined up for launch. Lua's lips curved in a teasing smile. "I'm not just a pretty ornament, my love. I can fly anything in this bay." Robin grinned. Confidence, strength, courage, these were the traits that had drawn him to her long before passion had taken root. "Then let's show them what happens when you underestimate both humanity and love." The shuttle hummed to life under Lua's skilled hands. Engines cast rainbow reflections across the platform. "Hold them off for 30 seconds, that's all I need," Lua called from the cockpit. Robin planted himself in the doorway, armor systems humming, absorbing fire and deflecting attacks. Memories of their first kiss, the electricity, the intimacy, the connection fueled his resolve. The shuttle lifted just as the massive platform doors burst open. King Thorax emerged, his blade-like protrusions fully extended, fury blazing through every pulse of light across his gray skin. "You dare," he roared. "You dare steal my daughter, corrupt her with your primitive human ways." Robin's voice was calm, unyielding. "She chose me, your majesty. Love isn't corruption, it's evolution." The shuttle soared, crystalline doors sealing as Thorax's roar faded behind them. Lua guided the vessel skillfully through the stars. "We'll need somewhere safe to hide," she said, hands flying over the controls. Robin placed his armored hand over hers. "I know a place, an old Earth colony on the rim. But first," he paused, heart full of the quiet moments they'd shared, the ways their souls had intertwined. "Whatever happens, my love for you will never waver." The shuttle glided through star-studded voids, iridescent hull reflecting distant nebulae. Lua maneuvered through an asteroid field with grace. Despite her growing belly, Robin watched her from the co-pilot's chair, still clad in armor minus the helmet. "You're staring again," she teased. Golden eyes flickering toward him. "Can't help it," he replied, voice low, playful. "You glowing more than usual," she mused, guiding the shuttle past a particularly large asteroid. Her green skin now carried a subtle luminescence, a radiant sign of life and human Nexian possibility. Days passed. They stopped at remote outposts for supplies. Their first and isolated mining station carved into a massive asteroid. Discreet and unmonitored promised temporary safety. "The radiation shielding will make it harder for your father's ships to track us," Robin noted. Lua skillfully docked, and they secured private quarters in the station's residential section. Robin's mind drifted to the palace, to that first night, her crystalline garments catching moonlight, the words she whispered. "I've studied human customs. Your passion is fascinating." Now, that same passion simmered in their temporary sanctuary. Artificial gravity slightly lower, Lua's movements seemed ethereal as she settled on their borrowed bed. "The physicians weren't entirely wrong," she said suddenly, hand on her abdomen. "By Nexian standards, I am infertile. Our species requires specific catalysts I lack." Robin removed his gauntlets, taking her hand. "Human biology works differently, magnificently differently." Her free hand traced his jaw. "Your adaptability, your vitality. It awakened something in me that our scientists never anticipated." Suddenly, a distant explosion rocked the station. Robin's reflexes snapped into action. Armor systems flaring as proximity alerts screamed in his helmet. "Royal pursuers," he growled, scanning the security feeds. "We need to move faster," Lua said. "Already gathering their few possessions. There's a maintenance tunnel to the lower docks. We can." Another explosion shook the station. Alarms blared. "Time to go," Robin said, helping Lua to her feet. They sprinted through dim corridors bathed in red emergency light. Nexian energy weapons blazed behind them. "The tunnel's just ahead," Lua gasped, cradling her belly. Robin positioned himself at the intersection, weapons primed. "Do it. I'll hold them here." Lua worked on the control panel, fingers flying, as Robin engaged the first wave of royal guards, armor glinting, energy shields crackling. He was a human storm in a crystalline world, driven by love, duty, and the promise of an impossible future. Robin's enhanced strength let him throw the first wave of guards back, buying precious seconds. Every move was precise. Defensive, he wouldn't harm former comrades unnecessarily. "Got it," Lua called, pointing to the heavy maintenance doors ahead. They ground open, revealing a narrow passage spiraling downward. The tight tunnel slowed their pursuers, forcing them to follow in single file. Robin's armor scraped against the walls, leaving streaks of black across the crystalline stone. Above, guards called for reinforcements. "The lower docks are mainly automated," Lua said between breaths. "Minimal security used for drone shipments." Suddenly she stumbled, crying out. Robin caught her instantly. Armor sensors, scanning for injuries. "The baby," she gasped. "He's active." Robin lifted her, cradling her against his armored chest. "Hold on, almost there." The lower docks stretched ahead, filled with cargo containers and maintenance drones. Robin located a small transport vessel, systems on standby. "Can you fly it?" he asked, guiding her to the pilot's seat. Her color returned as the pain subsided. "It's an older model, but the principles are the same." Hands moved with practiced ease across the controls. I must say," she added with a hint of pride, "your human technology is so wonderfully practical." The transport hummed to life just as the first guards reached the dock, shields held against their fire. "Though these vessels weren't designed for combat, then let's not stick around," Robin said, strapping himself beside her. "Maximum speed Earth colony is still 3 days out." As they weaved through debris and weapon fire, Lewis squeezed his hand. "Our child is strong, like his father. Humans are underestimated, Robin. Our greatest gift is making the impossible possible." Her golden eyes sparkled with emotion. "It's why I fell in love with you. Why I knew you were worth any risk." A pulsing emergency beacon interrupted the moment. The hasty escape had damaged the main drive, forcing an unplanned stop at a remote medical outpost. "Technically neutral territory," Robin explained, guiding the vessel toward a no-script station orbiting a massive gas giant. Lewis shifted, concern flickering across her luminescent skin. The station was unofficially run by humans who didn't like aristocratic aliens dictating terms. Robin smiled. "Perfect for us." The medical outpost was utilitarian functional angles, pragmatic design, a stark contrast to Nexian crystalline palaces. As they docked, Robin received an encrypted transmission. A gruff voice crackled through. "Commander Gyllenhaal, you've caused quite a stir in the Empire. Bring her to Bay 3. And Robin, you've got company." Inside, Dr. Reynolds, a weathered man with steel-gray hair and cybernetic eyes, examined Lua with undisguised fascination. "Remarkable," he muttered, scanning instruments. "Your human DNA, adapting to Nexian biology in ways that should be impossible." Robin stood protectively beside Lua as the child. "Healthy. Healthier than anyone had a right to expect," Reynolds replied, smiling. "Strength, accelerated healing, possibly limited psychic abilities from the Nexian side. But you'll need specialized care. Human facilities aren't equipped. Nexian ones would turn you in." A distant alarm blared. Multiple Nexian warships had dropped out of hyperspace. "And there's something else," Reynolds said, showing a holographic display. "Another vessel Rubles was in pursuit." "Civil war rumors?" Robin asked. "True. Your father's policies have sparked revolution. Many Nexians want integration with humans." Lewis straightened, regal even in her condition. "And my pregnancy could be a symbol, a living proof that our species can coexist and thrive." Reynolds nodded. The station shuddered as weapons fire erupted outside. Robin supported Lua to her feet. "We need to move. If either side reaches us, take the maintenance shaft to level 5. Reynolds handed Robin a data crystal. "Prototype stealth ship, medical transport, but she's armed. This crystal has everything on your child's development tool needed." Through the view, they watched the rebel ship struggle against royal forces. "They're fighting for the same thing we are," Lewis said softly. "A future where our peoples are united." Robin analyzed patterns on the tactical display. "They're attempting a slingshot maneuver around the gas giant. Royal forces will be distracted. Now's our chance." Moving quickly through the station's corridors, they prepared for the next stage of their desperate escape to species, one unborn child, and a universe that would not make it easy. Maintenance corridors stretched before them, dimly lit by Robin's armor systems. The distant sounds of battle grew louder, echoing through the darkened passages. "Your father's forces are attacking a medical facility," Robin observed, scanning the tactical display. "That won't sit well with the coalition," Lua replied, one hand protectively cradling her belly. "Our child represents everything he fears: change, evolution, the end of pure Nexian rule." They reached level 5 just as another explosion rocked the station. Ahead, the prototype ship gleamed sleek, dark, and coated with sensor-absorbing materials. Lua ran her hand along its surface, breathless. Human engineering at its finest. She whispered she needed a name. Robin said, helping her aboard. "Hope," Lua decided, settling into the pilot's seat. This wasn't just about their child, it was about a future for both their peoples. As they prepared for launch, Robin received a final transmission from Dr. Reynolds. "Coalition ships are en route. We'll delay pursuit as long as possible. Robin, take care of them both. What you've created is more important than you know." Hope glided silently through the debris field of an ancient battle. Its stealth systems rendered it nearly invisible to conventional sensors. In the captain's quarters, Robin studied tactical displays while Lua rested nearby, her pregnant form draped gracefully across the bed. "The rebel transmission is genuine," Robin announced. "Their leader, your cousin, Prince Aldrich." Lua's golden eyes widened. "Aldrich. Father always considered him a disappointment for his pro-human stance, and he's turned that stance into a revolution." Robin noted their base. Hidden in the Crimson Nebula where human and Nexian space intersected was a careful blend of the two cultures. Lua rose to join him, her luminescent skin casting a soft glow as she traced the scars across his chest. "Always on the borderlands between our peoples," she murmured. Their moment was interrupted by a proximity alert. A massive rebel carrier emerged from the swirling nebula, crystalline hull modified with human technology. A voice crackled over the comm. "You've entered restricted space. Identify yourself." Lua leaned forward, regal even over audio. "This is Princess Lua aboard Hope. accompanied by my mate, Commander Robin Gyllenhaal. We seek asylum. A pause. By the ancestors. The rumors are true. Stand by for docking instructions. The rebel carrier's hangar bay blended Nexian crystalline support with rugged human machinery. Crews of both species worked together with practiced efficiency. Prince Aldrich greeted them personally, lacking the severe blade-like protrusions of the royal line. Wearing armor reminiscent of human military dress. "Cousin," he said warmly to Lua, turning to Robin. He added, "Your escape has become legend. The infertile princess and her human mate defying biology and tradition." Robin acknowledged it, already assessing their surroundings tactically. Dr. Reynolds was safe. Aldrich explained that after their departure, coalition forces intervened, forcing the king's ships to withdraw or risk interstellar incident. Humans and Nexians now worked side by side, differences forgotten in pursuit of a common goal. "What you see here," Aldrich said, "is the future. Your child represents everything we're fighting for." In the medical bay, human doctors and Nexian healers confirmed the child was developing perfectly. Hybrid vigor, manifesting as strength rather than complication. It transforms biological barriers to make them irrelevant. The Nexian healer marveled. Later, in their assigned quarters, Lua watched the nebula's colors dance across Robin's muscular form as he prepared for rest. "They see us as symbols," she mused. "We are more than that," he replied, drawing her into his embrace. "Proof that love transcends species." Their moment was shattered by battle alarms. On the bridge, Aldrich coordinated the response to the royal fleet. Dozens of crystalline warships emerged from hyperspace, weapons charging. King Thorax led them personally. Robin's armor systems came online, "Not just for the rebellion," he said grimly, "for every human and Nexian who dreams of a barrier-free future." Lua stepped forward, regal and unyielding despite her pregnancy. "Open a channel to my father," she said. Robin cautioned, but she silenced him with a look. The communications system crackled. King Thorax's visage filled the screen, blade-like protrusions vibrating with rage. "Traitors, defilers of pure bloodlines. Surrender now and look at me," Lua interrupted, her voice carrying generations of conviction. "Look at what your gift to a loyal human warrior has created, not corruption, but evolution, not weakness, but strength. You dare lecture me about strength?" Thorax roared. "You who spread your legs for a primitive—" "I chose love," Lua declared, hand finding Robin's. "I chose the future. Now you must choose to. Will you be remembered as the king who resisted change, or the leader who guided our peoples toward a shared destiny?" The rebel carrier erupted in chaos as the first salvos from Thorax's fleet illuminated the nebula, signaling the beginning of the war that would determine the future of two species, and their impossible child. In the heart of the Crimson Nebula, Robin stood fully armored, helmet off, coordinating with human tactical officers. Lua engaged in rapid communications with several Nexian noble houses. "3 vessels have powered down their weapons," she announced, golden eyes shining. "House Meridian, House Astral, and House Luminoth stand with us." Prince Aldrich observed quietly as the crystalline warships broke formation with Thorax's fleet. "They see the truth in what we fight for," he noted. Robin's tactical display updated, showing shifting battle lines. "We still face overwhelming odds," he said grimly. "Humans excel at beating overwhelming odds," Lua finished, brushing her hand across his arm. Even in crisis, her touch sent electricity through him. "I have a plan," Robin declared, voice deep and commanding. "But it's risky. We need to board the flagship." Aldrich studied the display. "Impossible. Thorax's fleet, not for a stealth ship designed by humans," Robin countered, gesturing toward Hope in the hangar. "Not for a crew combining human ingenuity with Nexian power." He added, the plan came together quickly. While the rebel fleet engaged Thorax's forces, drawing their attention, Hope would slip through the chaos using advanced stealth systems. Robin would lead a boarding party of human and Nexian commandos. "I'm coming with you," Lua insisted. "Absolutely not," Robin replied, checking her condition. "In your condition, I'm still the better pilot," she countered. "And you need me. My genetic signature will get us through the flagship's defenses." Their eyes met. Same fire, same passion that had defied biology and tradition to create their child. Hope slipped through the battle like a shadow. Inside, commandos prepared for boarding while Lua guided them through the chaos with surgical precision. "Your father's flagship is generating unusual energy readings," she reported. "He's modified the crystalline matrix to stop exactly what we're attempting." Robin nodded. "Can you get us in? Watch me." The ship executed maneuvers that should have been impossible, weaving through the nebula and debris to approach the flagship's ventral hangar. Crystalline architecture created natural blind spots in the defense grid. "Now comes the hard part." Robin addressed the mixed commando team. "We fight not just for victory, but for the future, a galaxy where all children can live without artificial barriers." The boarding action was swift and precise. Human tactical expertise combined with Nexian strength. Robin led from the front, armor deflecting crystalline energy blasts while coordinating the team's advance. Meanwhile, Lua used Hope's communication array to wage her own war broadcasting. Evidence of her father's lies about her infertility, and decades of suppressing human Compatibility research. Your father didn't just lie. Aldrich's voice came through the tactical channel. He manipulated perception for generations. This data is changing minds. More ships began powering down as noble houses realized the king had been manipulating them. Robin's team reached the flagship's central chamber just as Thorax unleashed his final gambit. The king had fused with his ship's crystalline matrix, becoming a monstrous hybrid of organic and mineral. You dare bring your mongrel warfare to my throne? Thorax's voice boomed, his massive form towering over them. I gave you my daughter as a gift, human, and you repaid me with abomination. Thorax roared. You gave us a gift, father, Robin replied calmly, armor systems adapting to the energy saturating the chamber. But love gave us a miracle, a future you're too afraid to embrace. The battle was epic. Thorax's crystalline form commanded devastating power, yet Robin's human adaptability and tactical genius found every weakness. Target the junction points where his organic body merges with the crystal. Lua's voice guided him. Each hit caused cascading failures in the matrix. You've lost, father, Lua shouted. Not to weapons or tactics, but to change itself. Surrender and be part of the future, not a relic of the past. The chamber pulsed with unstable energy as Thorax's form fractured. Shards of living crystal rained around them. You've destroyed everything, Thorax bellowed. Lua entered the chamber, radiant and ethereal. We've created something new, something stronger. Robin moved to protect her, but she placed a gentle hand on his armored chest. Trust me, she whispered. Electric thrill echoing their first night together. The hybrid child you carry is an abomination, Thorax snarled. Or the future you've always feared, Lua countered, stepping forward. Look at what your gift has created. Father, look with your heart, not your pride. The chamber's energy patterns shifted, responding to Lua's presence. Her hybrid genetics allowed a unique connection to the living crystal technology that powered their civilization. You're a human mate, Thorax growled. He loved you, Father, Lua interrupted, pure and unwavering, completely, without fear. Everything humans do, they embrace change, adapt, and overcome. We did the same. The shattered crystalline chamber bore witness to a new era future forged from love, courage, and the improbable miracle of a hybrid child.